So this is my concept map for the terms for the membrane, the 40 terms for the membrane concept map. So we start off right here with plasma membrane being in the middle, and then we move down to the two different types of models, and the first one is the Singer-Nicolson model, and that's also known as the fluid mosaic model. And then from there, the other type of model is the Davison and Denali model, which is also called the sandwich model. And then from there, we go to proteins, and there are many different types of proteins. As you can see, it's going to be all the ones in pink here. And so you start off, you have glycoprotein, proteoglycan, membrane protein, peripheral proteins, integral proteins, protein attached membrane associated protein, anchor membrane proteins, transport membrane protein, receptor membrane protein, detergent molecules, enzyme membrane proteins, monolayer associated membrane proteins, and lipid linked membrane associated proteins. So that's going to be everything, all the proteins and everything associated with proteins. And then from there, you take membrane proteins, and from the membrane proteins, you have the membrane channel. And branching off of the membrane channel, you have, right here you have passive transport, and then from there you have the channel mediated passive transport. And if you go back up here to membrane channel, you have the ion channel, and then you have the gated ion channel. And then if you go back to the plasma membrane, starting back from the middle, you go up to phospholipid bilayer, and you have the hydrophobic tail and the hydrophilic head, and then from the hydrophobic tail you have the saturated fatty acid, and then you also have the unsaturated fatty acid. And then also coming off of the phospholipid bilayer, you have the amphipathic molecule and the glycolipid. And then going back to the plasma membrane middle, you have selective you go right to the right and you have the selective permeability, and then coming off of that you have vesicles. Then going back to the middle, plasma membrane, you have sterols and then steroids. Then back to the middle you have a concentration gradient, and then coming off the concentration gradient you have the three types of solution: isotonic solution, hypertonic solution, and hypotonic solution. Also coming off of the concentration gradient, you have the electrochemical gradient. And coming off of the electrochemical gradient, you have osmosis, simple diffusion, and active transport. And so this is the overview of my membrane concept map. And so that's the about 40 terms that were required for us to define in lab to put into the concept map. So they're all in the concept map and how they're related to each other.